And this is the way I negotiated every single one of my corporate contracts. And for my business, I had a minimum of 4 weeks consecutive off, even pushing that to 5 weeks sometimes. Note, that's consecutive, not random days and weeks. And it's something that when I do my planning for the year, at the beginning of the year, the very first thing I do is I block off my travel breaks. Then I schedule everything around that. If you don't do that, man, it's something that you really should consider doing. And if you're in a job as an employee right now and you're rolling your eyes and you're flipping your head around and going, this is absolutely an impossibility. It's not. You're listening to the Unshackle Your Life podcast with Debbie Colburn, where breakthroughs happen, getting rid of all the hidden things that hold us back, things that scare us and challenge us, and things that we're just plain fed up with. We talk all things money and business, big and small. We dive deep. We get real and raw at discovering and exploring what is really possible for you and what's holding you back. If you've ever thought, it's not enough when you looked at your bank account or your credit card balance, maybe you're sick and tired of the endless struggle of just getting by, and you know you're missing out on opportunities that keep screaming out to you. It's a never-ending cycle of crisis to crisis, either in your personal life or your business or your relationships or all of them. Then this is exactly where you need to be. We'll bring you a whole new way to look at those challenges, share ideas, tips, and tactics, and get you connected to the resources that will unlock those golden handcuffs and release your unique abilities. No matter what's going on in your life, right now, maybe you're in survival mode, living day to day, paycheck to paycheck, or maybe things are good and you know they could be better. Maybe you're in a job or a career or running a business that is leaving you empty, depleted, uninspired, or anything in between. I've got your back. Ready? Buckle up, take a deep breath, and join me in a conversation about breaking through to the next level. Welcome to episode 102. I don't know about you, but there can be days and even weeks where I simply, no matter how hard I try, can't get anything done, even with the most diligent of planning and setup. And I've discovered that I have an energy cycle, and that we all do. I used to scoff at people in a money coaching group I'm in who would blame the stuff going on in their lives on Mercury being in retrograde. Well, I still don't know exactly what that means, and I'm not talking here about circadian rhythms either, the 24-hour cycle unique to each of us. When I moved to Calgary, in a concrete jungle right downtown, I experienced something I hadn't in any previous year, and there are a lot of them. In January and February 2021, a sadness, a fatigue, a total lack of energy. Now, I fully recognize that that time period was smack dab in the middle of the pandemic, so I wrote that off to the pandemic lockdown. But again, this year it happened, and I was in a brand new building. It's bright, it's light, it's on the north side of the building. What the hell? I couldn't seem to sustain anything for more than a couple of days, and then the sun started to come up earlier. I have never, ever been noticeably affected by what many others have, the dull, drab, shorter daylight of deep winter months. Winter is my favorite season. But then I realized that everything about the pandemic had screwed up my cycles, my energy cycles, my recharge mechanisms, my inspiration mechanisms, and my whole damn schedule. And I have no doubt for most other people too. See, I've always been someone who needed big travel breaks and smaller power breaks. And then I can work super intensely for about 10 straight days. And at 10 days, that's it. I'm done. I need 3 to 4 days off with no actual work. Now, when I say no actual work, guys, as an entrepreneur, you're almost always thinking about your business. Ideas are coming to you. You're jotting it down. You're doing, mindset work. You're doing stuff like that. But I'm talking about actual physical, hands-on work. And in fact, this was when I took my first corporate job in accounting with Deloitte & Touche, one of the big 5 accounting firms in the world. The reason I took the job was that they offered 4-day weeks in the summer. Compensation for busting your ass in the spring, tax season and year-end season. And this is the way I negotiated every single one of my corporate contracts. And for my business, I had a minimum of 4 weeks consecutive off, even pushing that to 5 weeks sometimes. Note, that's consecutive, not random days and weeks. And it's something that when I do my planning for the year, at the beginning of the year, the very first thing I do is I block off my travel breaks. Then I schedule everything around that. If you don't do that, man, it's something that you really should consider doing. And if you're in a job as an employee right now and you're rolling your eyes and you're flipping your head around and going, this is absolutely an impossibility. It's not. The pandemic has revealed what those of us who have worked remotely for years already knew. You do not need to be in an office or a workspace with everybody else to do your job, and to do it even better and more efficiently. Okay, so there's just my little rant. That's always been something that I've been adamant that in the corporate world, in the world of employers got that so wrong. And it's going to be a challenge to get them on board. It was one thing when it was legislated. Now it's got to be a choice. So one of the big challenges of finding your personal energy cycle is they can get masked because most people are so busy beating themselves up for what they haven't got done that they actually can't see the patterns. For not finishing their to-do lists or even starting one thing, or they're calling themselves out for letting themselves down, not being accountable. You're your worst enemy. There's a reason that people say that. And people are beating themselves up for procrastinating, procrasti-learning, procrasti-cleaning, procrasti-creating, procrasti-anything. And don't get me wrong. You must absolutely be accountable to what you say you're going to do or behave like or anything like that. Accountability is so important. Yet, there is a way to supercharge your results, so lack of accountability becomes a thing of the past. Long to-do lists are no longer long. They're just not your thing anymore. Think about it. How many of you got to-do lists that it's more like to never do when you live in your personal energy cycle? So, now, what I'm not talking about is seeing that your sales or your income is falling short and going into your best selling mode, because that's scarcity thinking. And it creates an all or nothing cycle of crisis to calm, repeat, crisis to calm, repeat, crisis to calm. And that is an energy sucker. Oh my gosh, guys, believe me, there are very few entrepreneurs and business owners who haven't been down that route at least a few times. I know for sure I have done that. I know that I could do that with the Summit. Summit was a bricks and mortar physical business. It's not quite as easy to do online, and it is 100% unsustainable. In your personal life, the parallel would be selling all your stuff. You do it once, it works. There's a bunch of income in. Do it twice, not so much. Third time, there's nothing left to sell. So I'm keeping this one pretty short this week, and I'm going to encourage you to look back at your planner for the year. Where did you get the most done of the things that really mattered? How long did those periods last? What happened afterwards, and for how long? Where were you? What was happening in your life? For me, even today, I know that I am very focused and productive and creative in the week before I know money is coming in. And honestly, I just run with that. I also know I create best after a complete break of 5 or more consecutive days where I don't even turn on my laptop or check any of the socials or emails. Yes, the world did not end. The business did not crash. No apocalypse happened when I disconnected from tech. And you can too, and should. And this totally applies to your relationship with your money too. When do you treat it like crap? And when do you celebrate it like your BFF? Can you pick out the 4 seasons of your money? Spring, summer, fall, and winter. Seeding and planting, nurturing and growing, harvesting and storing, and contemplation and thinking. There are very definitely seasons like that through the year. Are there times in the month or the year where you feel the pull to do each of those things? I can't tell you what to do, nor what your personal cycle is. Only you can do that for you. Everybody's unique. There is no perfect answer or way to do it. There's no set of tarot cards or a Ouija board to direct you. There's no GPS. When you lean into what works for you, that's a total power up. You got an inkling? Then just start tracking it and see where it leads. And then you can start to make adjustments in your life and in your business to use that as another one of your superpowers. So like I said, pretty short today. There's a lot here. My wish, as always, is that you take something away from today that will encourage you to take the next step, to start building in that bias to get into action, into your daily life. You already know that your thinking is what drives everything. So if you haven't already signed up for the 90 days of daily affirmations, right into your inbox every single day for 90 days, so that you can unlock every day with intention, then pop on over to DebbieColburn/unlock the day and sign up to get it starting right away, basically. So we're here. It's the end. It's time for the question I ask everyone at the end of each episode. What is the very best thing that could happen if you unlock just one of your shackles today? Hey, if this podcast got you thinking you're ready to improve your money or business situation, or both, please make sure you're subscribed and share it with everyone you think needs to hear this. The link is in the show notes, and drop a review in wherever you're listening. Make sure to check out the all-new Breakthrough Navigator, the Money and the Money and Business editions, where you can work directly with me to transform that money situation in your bank accounts that is keeping you up at night. It's super easy. Just head to our website at debbiecolburn.com/links. And while you're there, sign up to grab your very own free personal daily intention setter in your inbox every single day for 90 days. Absolutely free. I actually get them sent to myself. They are so friggin' amazing. Simple tools to transform both your personal life and your business.